What is good, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Talking Sports with Manny podcast. So, we are streaming on various different platforms today. We are streaming on Twitch, TikTok, and as well as YouTube. So, I'm excited for this show. We're going to kick things off with Nico Harrison being fired by the Mavericks. Now, I'm going to give you guys some context, some background. So we all remember last year when Nico um, Harrison made that trade to send Luka Doncic from the Mavericks to the Lakers, right? When he made that trade, we were all baffled. We were all confused. We were all kind of shocked, right? We were thinking, why would the Mavs make that trade? Now, obviously, ownership signed off on a trade, right? And then now the Lakers have Doncic, but Doncic so far this season is averaging 38 points, 9 rebounds, and 9 assists. And you have a lot of people mad. You're hearing a lot of chatter about um, did the Mavericks make the right move? Mind you, the year prior, they make it to the NBA Finals. And then obviously, Kyrie gets hurt. So that kind of complicates things a bit. You trade away Luka. They said that Luka was always injured and out of shape. And they wanted to get rid of him. They didn't want to pay him that supermax. Now you trade for a player in Anthony Davis who's always injured and out of shape. So make that make sense. How does that make sense? So in a nutshell, with this whole debacle, Luka's, like I said earlier, is averaging 38 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists. Then you have Anthony Davis, who's been hurt. He's a very good player, but we know what comes with Anthony Davis. He's going to miss a chunk of games every single year. With no Kyrie, no AD, yes, they were able to get Cooper Flag, and Cooper Flag is a generational talent and this and that. But the Mavericks are just so far behind in the standings. And even with Cooper Flag, they have a lot that they have to, do. So when you're looking at the standings, let's look at the standings right now. The Dallas Mavericks are 3-8. It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the season, but they have so much more to do, right? When you look at the roster, when you look at the roster breakdown with no Kyrie, their issue was finding a point guard that fits what these guys like to do. Look at the depth chart. So with no Kyrie, you bring in D'Angelo Russell, right? D'Angelo Russell, he doesn't play as much. He should be playing as much. Brandon Williams is the guy that I feel like brings a lot of upside to that offense. Speaking of Brandon Williams, I'm going to go pick him up in my fantasy league in basketball. Tyler's asking, Troy Franklin or Sharps for Woody Marks? I'd rather keep the Troy Franklin side. That's just me. But yeah, Brandon Williams and D'Angelo Russell, right? Brandon Williams is more of a traditional scoring guy. D'Angelo has some point guard making some playmaking ability, but he's just not that. So when they built this team, they didn't build this team with a point guard in mind. You have Jaden Hardy, another combo guard. You have RJ Nembhard, just poorly constructed. Then you have Max Christie, who was a solid piece in that Lakers deal. But when you look at it, what do they really have to offer? Then you have Cooper Flag, who can play from the 1 to the 5, but you don't even know how to use him. You don't know how to use him. You have PJ Washington, very solid 3-man. Of course, AD stays hurt. And you have Lively, who's also stays hurt. Daniel Gafford stays hurt. So then you have guys like Najee Marshall stepping in, doing some pretty good things. Then you have Klay Thompson, who they traded for or who they signed, and he's not doing anything. Hey, what's good, Sora? Appreciate you hopping on the stream. I'm doing great. Appreciate the follow. Appreciate the follow. I'm doing awesome. I'm doing great. Just doing some basketball recap with these Mavericks. Okay, Nelly has a question. It says Dynasty, Luther Burden and Algier for Worthy. I think it's even. At this point, I'd rather have Luther Burden and Algier. Algier has definitely been solid, getting lots of points. Worthy obviously is the longer dynasty asset, or like the has more upside. but I'm not a Worthy guy for whatever the reason is. Worthy has just not really popped for me. It says, what would you consider a good bench for Junior in his 6'1", 208? You saying I don't understand that question, Joel. I'm sorry. I don't understand that question. All right. Let me see 1 second. The source is so pursuing Twitch as a career or just passing time. Passing time. Like I stream. I have a real job. But I stream. You can follow me on TikTok, Talking Sports with Manny. And the thing is, like, I'm new to Twitch actually, but yeah, I'm on all social media platforms. Just cover sports. All right, let me see. It says, "Do you think?" So it says, "What do you think about Mahomes and Rice for May and JSN or Amon-Ra?" I think it's fair, but I prefer JSN and Amon-Ra more than Rice. It says Trevion, AJ Brown, Josh Downs for Marv and Ashton Jeanty. Give me. I think it's fair with the Marv and Ashton Jeanty for Trevion, AJ Brown, and Downs. I think Marv and Ashton have the bigger upside. Sora says, actually, if you do some updates on your channel, like a professional cool gaming logo, animation, outros, intros. I'm good. I appreciate it, though. All right. It says, should I do Ladd, McConkey, or Junkins and Worthy? Junkins and Worthy for me. Hey, appreciate the gift, Nelly's World. Trevion, AJ Brown, Josh Downs for Marvin, Ashton Jeanty. That's tough. I would keep the Trevion Henderson side. Henderson is here, and he has arrived finally. Hey, what's good, Torin? It says, thank God Nico gone. Yeah, Nico's gone, man. Nico's gone, and a lot of Maverick fans are happy. They're excited, and that's pretty dope, man. Yeah, he had to go, and it's sad that Nico had to leave because the ownership signed off on that trade, and now, it's just Nico this, Nico that. But it just is what it is. Appreciate you hopping on the stream, though. It says, guy dropped Woody in my league. Woody or RJ Harvey? RJ Harvey. There's talks that J.K. Dobbins might be on IR, so I would go Harvey. All right, I think I got to every question so far. Yep. So back to the Mavs, like I was talking. Klay Thompson, he chose the Mavericks over the Lakers, and now he has to stay here and kind of deal with it. And then when you look at the rest of the roster, Caleb Martin, who's solid, but it's just a poorly constructed roster. But you heard all the hype that, the Mavs are deep. They're a deep team. They got this and they got that. It's just injuries. It's injuries. Injuries happen, just like I'm a Commanders fan. Injuries happen to the Commanders, and here they are, literally building for next year. Says, I like AD, but look like he's gone. Yeah, AD is most likely on his way out. They're taking offers right now, trying to see that trade market for AD. But I think AD's gone. Like, he wants to win, and Mavericks are further away from winning than we thought. So, says you have an Insta or Discord account. I have an Instagram account. It's Talking Sports with Manny. This says, yeah, I agree. I don't think when we're winning the game, they say that they're saying fire Nico. Like, sadly, we can't take it back. Yeah, it's as a Lakers fan, I thank y'all. I thank Nico Harrison. Like, I believe that Nico Harrison should have a statue at the Lakers house, man. For real. Like, just getting Luka and just having that next star to transition. Like, I think it's Luka Doncic right now and Austin Reeves. That's the future of the Lakers, right? And you can kind of add and kind of build pieces around that. Marcus Smart has been nice. DeAndre Ayton has been nice. Uche Hachimura is nice. And you just continue to build out that roster, and you just continue to infuse it with solid guys. Vando has been solid. Maybe you upgrade from guys like Dalton Connect and Gabe Vincent. But yeah, Lakers are building something special. Somebody's asking, who do I start in my flex? Wandale, Aaron Jones, or Addison, or Harvey? I would go Harvey. Oh, man. All right. Where are we? Sorry, y'all. I was thrown off. All right. So I'm going to talk some NBA fantasy for a second. Since Brandon Williams is now said to be starting for the Mavs, which he should have been starting. I'm going to try to go pick him up in my fantasy league if he's still available. Let's see. So Joel Embiid obviously is going to miss another game. That guy makes me mad. Like, he misses more games than anybody. All right, let's go to add players. I love the new feature with adding players on the ESPN Fantasy Basketball app. They kind of give you trending players, more so like Sleeper. They're trying to copy off of Sleeper, but it's cool. All right, so Brandon Williams is still available. I'm going to pick him up before it's too late. So if you guys play fantasy basketball, go pick up Brandon Williams. I believe he's going to get a bigger role on that team. And I'm going to drop a guy like Isaac Okoro and pick up Brandon Williams, because he's pretty much going to be starting over D'Angelo Russell. And with that team being a mess, sometimes mess is kind of how you get, a lot of numbers and wins and all that good stuff. So it says, would you do Junkins for Brees? Yeah, I think it's even. Brees has been hot off late, but Junkins has more upside. It says trade ETN and Franklin for Bucky. No, I don't know what the infatuation is with Bucky. Bucky has not been available for I don't know how many weeks. I rather have players that are productive than the players that you can chase for upside. I don't know when Bucky's coming back. And when Bucky comes back, does he get re-injured? So I don't know. Me personally, I'm out on Bucky the rest of the season. But ETN and Franklin have been solid. But do trade if you feel in your gut to do it. It says, Top Dude sent me Waddle, MHJ, and Swift for Justin Jefferson. I would take it. That's a great deal for you. Consider trading Mahomes and ETN for CD. I have Herbert as well. It's not a bad deal. If you're deep at running back, then I don't see an issue with pretty much essentially ETN for CD. Because in one quarterback leagues, quarterback don't hold too much value. So that's that. All right. Okay, we got some questions here. Oh, man, let me go back. I'm sorry, guys. I was on TikTok. But, hey, Alex, what's going on? It says, hey, man, this is my team for the week. Week 11, what do you think? You got May, you got Woody, you got Junkins, JSN, Jettas, McBride, and Mecca. You got Hendy, Bucky. Solid team, good team, great team. You should win your week. I love any team that has JSN and Jetta, McBride, and Mecca. Those are like my guys. So, yeah, you should win your week. Solid team. Jason says, I traded Woody Marks and Hunter Henry for Kittle. Did I win or no? Felt like tight end was my only weakness. Woody Marks or Hunter Henry for Kittle. I like the deal for you. Kittle is an upgrade, and Kittle has come into his own. My biggest mistake was not starting Kittle last week, but it seems like Kittle and Mac Jones are now getting into a groove. So I do like that trade for you, especially if you're deep at running back. It says RB is Barkley, Kyron, wide receiver 1 is Chase, London. You got Nico. You got Kittle in your Kittle. Then your flex is Javante, Sutton. Your bench is, yeah, this is a great team. I don't think you need anything else. Kind of just rock with what you have. All right. And for those on TikTok, if you guys want to join the fan club, you're more than welcome. I appreciate all the love, all the gifts. Since I consider trading Mahomes and ETN for CD, we talked about that. All right. So we're all caught up so far. Let me see if there's any other players in fantasy basketball that I would consider. Appreciate the gift, man. Appreciate the gift. Appreciate you, Cole. It means a lot. Players that I would consider grabbing in fantasy basketball. Isaiah Stewart was solid, and then he fell off. But there was a player. See, the stuff is different between the website and the app. But there was a guard for Detroit that kind of went crazy. I can't find his name right now. Cam Whitmore is a decent player. Let me see. Bub Carrington, keep an eye on him. On the waivers, Najee Marshall. There we go. Najee Marshall is a player that I'm interested in because if AD gets traded or if AD doesn't continue to play, Najee did have a good game where he had 30 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 assists. And then he followed it with 9, 5, and 3. But he is getting 25 minutes per game last 3-4 games. So, all right, should I says T for Odunze. I like Odunze's side. Trade Bucky and Pittman for Bijan. I like the Bijan side. It says, what up with Bucky? Should I give him up for Rice or just hold? Yeah, trade Bucky. Like, I'm out on Bucky, y'all. Y'all trade him. You're holding on to a guy that you don't know when he's going to come back, and you don't know the impact that he's going to give you when he is available. So I'm on the trade Bucky train. Let's see. Yeah. So yeah, for those watching on TikTok, if you guys like what you guys are hearing, please follow, please like, please subscribe. And as well as those that are watching on Twitch and YouTube, please subscribe and follow if you haven't already. I appreciate it. All right. Let's see. Is there any other NBA fantasy pickups? I don't know what's going on with Lonzo Ball. Let me look at Lonzo Ball's last 3 games. 9 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. He's not even streamable. You can't even stream Lonzo Ball right now. Keon Ellis from Sacramento. Well, man, he's phased out. Can't rock with him. Sam Hauser from the Celtics. No. He's not streamable. He's up and down. He's up and down. You can't rock with Hauser. Yeah, I don't know what you guys' league look like, but it's not too much out here. Jeremy Shohan. Nah, he ain't it. All right. It says, oops. It says traded CeeDee Lamb and Jared Goff for Bucky Irvin, Genty, QJ, and Dart, stacked with receiver. Okay, all right. CeeDee Lamb, Jared Goff, and Bucky for Genty, QJ, and Dart. Yeah, I like Dart. It's solid, real solid. All right. Junkins or Rome at my flex this week. Go Rome. Diggs over Smitty this week. I might rock with Smitty. Smitty has been turning up in recent weeks. Give me Smitty over Diggs. I think Smitty has a higher upside. Even with A.J. Brown over there, for whatever the reason is, they don't like A.J. Brown. All right. Jason is asking, start 1 QB this week. Mariota, Rodgers, Geno, Tua. Man, that's rough. I know Tua has a great matchup versus the Commanders. The Commanders have a great matchup. So I would go either Tua or Mariota. I don't know who Rodgers plays, and Geno's so inconsistent. So out of this group, go Tua, because the Commanders can't cover anybody. So Let's see where we're at. Appreciate the follows, guys. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the hearts. All right, let's see. Y'all keep asking y'all NBA questions. I mean, NFL questions while I pretty much talk more so NBA today. All right. Looking at the standings, man. You got the Pistons at 9-2 in the NBA, and that sounds weird. The Pistons at 9-2. That's weird.
Hello.
I don't even know how they're doing this. I mean, Jalen Duren is playing well. He's playing great, but it's still it's weird. 9-2. You got the Knicks at 6-3, and you know things are gonna change. Every 10 games, you're gonna have people go up, people go down. Can the Pistons keep this up? I don't know. But nobody was talking about the Pistons prior to coming into this season. You got the New York Knicks at 6-3, Miami at 7-4, Cleveland at 7-4, Milwaukee at 7-4. You think that Milwaukee and Cleveland should be higher. And then you got the Bulls at 6-4. Mind you, the Bulls were first in the East like last week, right? Now, in their last 10, they're on a 3-game losing streak. So, and then the Pistons are on a 7-game win streak right now. So it kind of just goes up and down, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, let me see. It says I asked more. By the way, sorry, I know it's a lot. It's all good. It's all good, man. Ask away. This is the reason why I do this. Oh, you asked more questions. Oh man, my bad. I missed this one. It says, do I drop Nick Chubb and Tootin for Judy, Coleman, Gainwell, Gordon, Emmanuel Wilson, Isaiah Davis, Sean Tucker? I would say you can drop Nick Chubb with Bashaw Tootin. I don't know. I think he has some upside. Jerry Judy should not be on the waivers, so that's a good pickup. But out of who to drop, I would definitely drop Nick Chubb for sure. With Bashaw Tootin, it's up to you. He's gonna have his up and down games. I think. Do I have one more question? Oh, you got some more questions here. It says QB Dart, Cook, Waddle says my team currently without Ladd and Shakir trade. Waddle, Pittman. You have a solid team. This question says, do I trade Tet and Kamara for Ladd and Shakir? Okay. I would. I think Ladd and Shakir are better than Ted and Kamara. Because I got Rico, so I don't want to start 2 Panthers and Kamara as my RP5. I mean, I get it. Shakir, I can't trust Shakir right now. He's just not that guy. It says, I dropped Mike Evans for Judy. Well, I dropped Mike Evans for Judy. Yeah, you dropped Mike Evans. Mike Evans is no longer rosterable right now. But yeah, hope I got to all your questions. But appreciate you. All right, let's see. Would you start Junkins? I will start Junkins if I need to start Junkins. He hasn't been good in these last previous weeks. So yeah, I don't know. Junkins for me is just depends on who I have on my roster. But I'm a Junkins guy, but it's hard to trust inconsistent players. Which tight end is the best this week? Theo Johnson might start. Wendell. Strange. K. Dotton already starting. White. I don't mind starting multiple people from different teams from the same team. I think that your best bet if Jackson Dart is out, I don't trust Theo Johnson this week. If Jackson Dart is in, then I'm going Theo Johnson over any of these guys that you have. Kate Otten has picked it up off late. So there's that.
That's not
Should I drop Ayuk for Golden,
because if they do it
Quorum,
every evening, then why did she
Gainwell,
say do it every
Ninja?
evening or something? I don't know. But she was super.
Ayuk is probably
Every evening
droppable.
stuff
Matthew
without,
Golden,
you know,
I don't really
waiting
rock
too much
with,
for it,
but
because if this
yeah,
is the
Ayuk
case,
is droppable.
we're gonna arrange early to pick up that medicine, okay? It when it was ready.
All right, back to the
It
NBA.
was
So,
not used to be. So I would have tried to
you got
use
Boston
it,
at 5-6 here, better than what I thought they were going to be. Orlando, I've been wrong about Orlando so far. Orlando should have been better than what they're doing right now. Raptors are 5-5, middle of the pack. Atlanta is 6-5, which is a shocker. I was thinking they was going to be better, taking that step. Philadelphia has been up and down last 10 games, and they have a tough game tonight playing the Celtics. If they lose tonight, they just continue to drop slowly but surely. But that's with them mismanaging Embiid. You're benching Embiid too many games. He's either you start him, you play him, or you just shut him down for the season. It says who's the best backcourt in the NBA right now? That's easy. It's Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves. Name a better backcourt. Reeves is averaging 30 plus points. I don't know how many rebounds, but about 9 assists. And then you have Luka, who's averaging 38 points, 9 and 9. So it has to be the Lakers backcourt. Bears or Vikings this week? Bears, I guess. In this league, I feel my RBs are my weakness. Which RBs would I target for a trade with Ted McMillan? It just all depends. I don't even know what the market is for a guy like Ted, honestly. I would suggest put him out there to your league mates. Say, hey, I have Ted available. I'm looking for a running back. And then kind of see what offers you receive. Rico Dottle should be an RB1, RB2 the rest of the way. But yeah, you got to definitely upgrade from Vidal. But overall, it's a solid team. I think that you can win without running backs. Honestly, if you have solid to elite wide receivers, you can win your leagues without running backs. As long as your running backs as a whole are putting together anywhere between 10 to 15, 20 points consistently a week, you could get by with it. Hampton should be back soon. Kamara is solid. I would go Kamara over Vidal. White, Bucky, I don't know when Bucky comes back. Pollard is a guy that you can even trade or drop. In my 3 leagues, my quarterbacks are Nixon 1, Dart, Jones, Dak, and another. Which league should I target Joe Burrow, and how do you feel, and how much fab? So if Joe is out there, you should target with your fab 50% of your fab because he's coming back soon. But I mean, you have solid quarterbacks between Nix, Dart, and Jones, Dak. I mean, they're solid. It says, I appreciate you, my guy. Sorry, I know it's a lot of questions. No problem, man. I try my best to answer as many as I can. All right, so we got more questions over here on TikTok. It says, I don't want to get rid of JSN. He's really good. I wouldn't get rid of JSN either. It says, I got offered JSN for Gibbs. What should I do? I would keep JSN. I know that Gibbs is putting up just around the same type of numbers and things of that nature. But for me, honestly, I'd rather receiver over running back. The running backs are more running backs get hurt more. It says before them it was Tyrese and BJ. I mean, I hear what you're saying, but it's even when it was Tyrese and BJ, it was always Luka and Reeves. Like they just put up better numbers like all year. Like there was a back-to-back game where Luka and Reeves put up like 49 and 50 points. So yeah. All right, it says I don't want to get rid of it. Keep JSN. Somebody said go get JSN. Absolutely. It's JSN over Gibbs. And it's not even close. It's not even close. But yeah, appreciate you guys, man. Keep liking, keep sharing, keep subscribing, all that good stuff. All right, so CD for Johnson, Rico, and Henderson. Need a wide receiver. So if you're trading all that to get CD, I'm out. I like the Johnson, Rico, and Henderson side. But if you need a wide receiver, then you know what you need to do. All right. Back to the NBA standings. The Wizards are 1-10. They're going to be drafted 101 again this year. Pacers are 1-9, but they have a reason. Brooklyn Nets being 1-9. I don't know what their purpose is in life, honestly. The Hornets should be better than 3-7, even with injuries. But that's the East for you. The East is always the weaker division, the weaker league. The Thunder are 10-1. They're going against the Warriors and they're going against the Lakers tonight. I don't know if they win back-to-back games. They might beat the Warriors tonight and then lose to my Lakers tomorrow. That'd be great. It says me versus you. All right. This is I have Chase Brown and Junkins, so I can afford that. Hey, do your thing. Not mad at you at all. Do your thing. All right. So Thunder is 10-1. Spurs are 8-2. Denver 7-2. Lakers 8-3. Just those top four teams right there so far this season. I mean, it's gonna be. I don't know who's gonna end up 1, 2, 3, and 4. Rockets are pretty good this year, 6-3. Minnesota 7-4. Golden State 6-5. Phoenix 6-5. And then after Phoenix, honestly, teams like Portland and Memphis and Sacramento, Utah, Clippers have a chance when they're fully healthy. But so far this season, it's been a lot of good basketball and a lot of bad basketball. So I'm intrigued to see what OKC Thunder look like tonight and tomorrow versus two quality teams. It says, OKC. Yeah, OKC, man. OKC is they're the best team right now, and they're scary. Like they are scoring 122 points per game, and then their opponent is scoring 108. So that's like a plus 13.6 difference. And I think they lead the league in difference. Denver is 13.2. Lakers are just barely squeaking by in terms of difference, 1.6 plus 1.6. But you know, they're winning games. They're squeezing out wins. I think out of all these top teams, the Lakers defense is pretty bad. Out of the top 6 teams, they're giving up 116 points per game, while teams like OKC 108, right, solid. I think OKC has the best. Another plus win differential is the Rockets, plus 9.7. All right. My guy says, Jesus says, Flacco or Caleb. I think Flacco has the better matchup, but Caleb is safe. My guy, Galaxy Pickers, is in the building, man. Says I offered someone CD and Harvey for JSN and Andrews. They told me I'm not giving enough. I couldn't believe it. CD and Harvey. I think that CD. I think you gave up enough. Now CD is definitely not on the level of JSN, but we know who CD Lamb is based off of his past. But JSN is just putting up monster numbers. Maybe if you swap out Harvey and put in another piece, that might be able to get it done. It's for the fact that you're getting Andrews back, but Andrews has been kind of up and down this season. So I don't know. So CD and Harvey for JSN and Mark Andrews. Yeah. So that's pretty even right there. It says Lamb and Kyron for JSN. See, that's more like it. See, somebody else is saying they're going to give up Lamb and Kyron for JSN. That's the kind of deal that JSN owners are looking for. They're not looking for a CD and Harvey. They're looking for like a CD and Kyron. So. Okay. It says, bro, do I drop QJ and pick up Jameson, Dobbs, Shaid, Franklin, Jennings? Yeah, QJ's up and down. But the rest of the receivers that you're about to pick up are also up and down. So they're all like in the same stratosphere. Now give me a minute. 1 second. All right. It says Harvey's value is going up with Dobbins probably going to be on IR. That's true. But they're going to have to see some consistency out of Harvey for him to be respected. So, but I feel like you gave a fair offer. But JSN is just hard to acquire right now. It's hard to acquire JSN right now, I promise you. JSN has a chance to go for 2,000 yards this season. Anytime you have a receiver halfway mark with 1,000, it's tough. It says send off AJ Brown and Cook for CMC. I think it's worth it. AJ Brown has not been consistent all year. So it says, who should I target? K9 or Aaron Jones? I need a running back. Go the cheaper route. The cheaper guy out of the two is probably K9. 16-man league, 8-2, trade Jennings or QJ for Franklin or Diggs. Yeah, I would. I prefer Diggs or Franklin. Pretty much whatever that you're trading, you're getting back something better. So it says, would you trade Garrett Wilson for Sutton? At this point, I would. Garrett Wilson might be done for the year. He's going to miss 4 games. So, yeah. It says his squad is James Cook, Vidal, Stevenson. He needs a RB bad. See, that's the thing. When people think, like, let's say, for example, let's say I'm struggling. Let's say this is my team, right? And you come to me like, man, you need a running back bad. You got James Cook, Vidal, and Stevenson, right? I'm still not giving up JSN. That's just me. Like, and then me being a guy that's hey, my bad. Could you hear me? You just couldn't see me, right? But you could hear me. But yeah, I don't know if you heard everything I said, but all right, let's see. Should I give up Kittle and K9 for Kyron? I have McBride and I already lost Scotabo. I'm not mad at the trade at all. I'm not mad at it at all. It says Cook for Rico, and Franklin. If you're talking about James Cook, I'd rather have James Cook. It says if he doesn't go for AJ Brown and Cook, how do I throw Bucky on top? I mean, if you like Bucky, man, I just know for me, I'm out. I'm out on Bucky. It says, should I pick up Harvey or Hunt? Out of the two, go Harvey. Harvey's going to be getting the lion's share of the carries in Denver. Appreciate the follow, Kevin. It says, any suggestions on who to trade? Rico. My team is JT, Henry. See, when it comes to trading, it just depends on your league. So what I normally do is I say, hey, I'm looking for a running back, or I'm looking for a receiver or tight end or whatever. That way, your league lets you know what's available. then you kind of know how to piece some things together. And sometimes you might be in a league where people don't trade or don't or are not interested in trading. So you have that as well. It says, I need a wide receiver too. Fill my team. I need a wide receiver too. Is my team waiver wrong every week, and I'm second place. Yeah, I don't know what kind of league you're in. Usually, once you make a pick, you go to the bottom, and then some leagues have reverse order. So, yep. Let's see. Let's check out some NBA stats this year. So Giannis is averaging 33.4 points per game. Maxi's been killing it, but I'm afraid that the Sixers are going to be using Maxi too much out there in Philly. SGA is averaging a cool 33.2 points per game, holding it down. Donovan Mitchell, they're at 30.4, and look at my guy Reeves at 30.3. Rebounds, you got Sabonis at 14. Nikolai Jokic at 13, Wemby at 12.8, Karl-Anthony Towns at 12.7, Jalen Duren at 12. Shout out to Jalen Duren, man. Jalen Duren has been great all year. All year. I'm going to drop some people that you guys should pick up in NFL waivers in a minute before I get off. Nikolai Jokic is leading the league in assists. 11.9 for a center is crazy work. Might be the best passing big in the history of the game. Might be the best passer in the history of the NBA. Cade is averaging 9.9 assists. Josh Giddey, 9.3. James Harden, 9.1. Reeves with 9 assists a game. Wemby, 3.9 blocks. Sarr with 2.5. Steph Curry obviously leads the league in 3 points made per game, 4.4. And Anthony Edwards is always right there in the top 5. Y'all don't sleep on Anthony Edwards when it comes to shooting threes. All right, says I got Jennings, but Pierce, Washington, or go Reed or Ayuk in second, looking for playoffs. Marvin or Flowers, I would go Marvin. Need a wide receiver too, but the waivers. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you, man. Just keep fighting. It says trade Harvey and Caleb for Hampton, Tet, with Dobbins going on IR. That's an even trade. But I like the Hampton and Tet side. It says I got Jennings, but okay. Read that one. Just need a wide receiver too. Yeah, just keep looking. The easiest thing to find in fantasy football is wide receiver too. All right, it says, do I trade Cook plus AJ Brown for CMC? If he doesn't accept, do I throw Bucky on top? Cook and AJ Brown for CMC. I think it's worth it. Somebody asked this question earlier. I don't know if this is the same question or not, but I'm not mad at it at all. If he doesn't accept, throw Bucky on top. Yeah, I mean, I'm not mad at it at all. CMC has been putting up numbers, but as you're getting CMC, make sure you get Brian Robinson Jr. to protect your CMC. Because if CMC gets hurt after you're trading Cook plus AJ Brown, Cook has been good. If CMC is running back 1, Cook is like running back 3, maybe 4. So it's not much of a difference between the two, but just be careful. It says trade Brees and Waddle for Zay and Barkley. I like the Brees and Waddle side. It says, sorry, I might have asked earlier, but I probably didn't hear you. Phone was bugging out. It's all good. Yeah. It's just one of them trades. Like CMC, as great as CMC is, it just takes one injury. But if CMC stays healthy, CMC is a great get. I was looking at it earlier. CMC has like 69 receptions and over almost 700 yards receiving. So that alone is going to keep CMC as the running back 1 over JT as the year goes on based off of your league format. CD for Bijan. Give me Bijan. I think it's even. It's also all about preference. Thoughts on Caleb Williams? I think Caleb Williams is having a great season this year. Um, he's better fantasy than real life, but you can also make a case that Caleb should be a Pro Bowler this year. And he has his team as one of the playoff teams right now after the season ended today. So Caleb is just balling out of control. Kevin is asking, I just traded A.J. Brown and Justin Jefferson for Puka. Ooh, that's a lot. But then again, A.J. Brown is not giving you much all year. So I kind of understand it. Puka's one of those guys, like, he's solid. Matthew Stafford leads the league in passing touchdowns. So I definitely understand why you would make that trade. I still think you gave up too much, but I understand it. If you guys are new to the channel, please smash the subscribe button. Appreciate y'all. If you guys are watching on TikTok, please follow, please share. It says JT and Diggs for Rice and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Give me the Amon-Ra St. Brown and Rice side. Now you might say, "Oh, well, how do you do this with JT being there and Diggs?" And again, JT is killing it, but I'd rather have Amon-Ra St. Brown, who has 8 touchdowns so far, and he's going to lead in every statistical category in terms of, receptions. Could get over 100 receptions this year. So I got Pickens and Johnston from May, and Aaron Jones and Pearsall. Yeah, I like the Pickens side, so great deal for you. Start Nix, Dart, or Flacco. If Dart is healthy, give me Dart. Dart over everybody. And then I would go Dart, Flacco, then Nix. Hey, appreciate the sub, Kevin. Appreciate you, man. All right, so I'm about to give you guys some waiver wire ads. Give me some waiver wire ads for the week. Just give me a moment. I'll do that, and then I'll be gone in about 13 minutes. Because I have JSN, Pickens, McBride, Javonte too. It's solid. It says trade alert. I give Kyron, Monongai, Tez, Theo. I give Barkley, Marvin Harrison, and Charbonnet. I love that trade for you, but I also like your team as a total. So with the quarterbacks that are on bye week this week is Daniel Jones and Tyler Shuck. So you're going to be needing some quarterbacks. I'll tell you guys what to grab in just a minute. It says, should I start Mahomes or Herbert? I will go Mahomes over Herbert. Both have been great this season, but Mahomes have just been more consistent. And then Mahomes is running the ball a little bit more. And with Rashee Rice coming back, that offense is clicking on all cylinders. So I will go Mahomes over Justin Herbert. Now, like I said, with quarterbacks that are on bye week, we have quarterbacks that are going to be on potentially missing the game. Like Jackson Dart has a concussion right now. You got Geno with a quadricep injury. You got Jaden Daniels and Brock Purdy and Kyler Murray. C.J. Stroud still in concussion protocol. You have Joe Burrow, who's close to coming back. And then, of course, Anthony Richardson. So then check around your leagues. See if guys like Aaron Rodgers is available, like Joe Flacco, has a juicy matchup this week. So, and then also, with Burrow coming back, you want to, get all the Joe Burrow that you can grab. So definitely grab Joe if Joe's available in your leagues. Brissett has been solid. He's been putting up like 24 plus points per game last few games. Tua has a great matchup this week versus the Commanders. Mariota has a great matchup versus the Dolphins. And of course, Brock Purdy is a guy you should just hold on to just in case he's finally ready to play. When he does play, he is averaging 21.2 points per game. Geno's a decent streamer this week versus a weak Dallas Cowboys defense. And if you're desperate, you go guys like J.J. McCarthy and Davis Mills. Russell Wilson could be in line for some play this week. And then also keep an eye out for Shedeur Sanders, especially if you are in Superflex leagues. It says, What's up with Purdy? When is he coming back? So Purdy's week to week, man. But the most annoying thing is that they rather keep Purdy healthy going into the NFL playoffs than bring him back too early. Mac Jones has been solid. Mac Jones has done enough to lead this team to wins. But you can see at the end of the year where they might say, you know what, Purdy's ready, Ayuk is ready. So they're definitely going to have patience with their players. But yeah, Purdy's is a week to week thing. If you can stash him in your IR, you do it. If you can't, then you got to let him go. It says start Swift or Trevion Henderson. Give me Trevion Henderson. Should I start Quentin Johnson or Khalil Shakir? Give me Khalil Shakir. Should I start Rashad White over Derrick Henry? Henry against the Browns defense. Yeah, I'm not starting Henry. I guess you got to go Rashad White, but Rashad White has been bad. Look up Sean Tucker. Sean Tucker is the guy that you should go ahead and grab. I think that Sean Tucker might lead that Bucs backfield. All right, let's see. Let's go running backs. You got Jonathan Taylor on bye. You have Kamara also on bye. And you have injuries to guys like J.K. Dobbins, Donovan Knight, Terrell Jennings, Chris Rodriguez, Bucky Irvin. The list goes on with all these injuries for running backs. And that's a position that I don't overly go trade for guys like either running backs that I'm unsure of. Now, Emari Demercado played well last week. He seems to be the guy, especially with Donovan Knight dealing with an ankle injury. Emari Demercado is going to be the top waiver wire pickup this week in terms of running backs. Sean Tucker, like I told you guys, 2 weeks in a row, he has led that Bucs backfield. So I love Sean Tucker a lot this week. Kevin says, Manny, should I start CMC versus the Rams? I would. CMC's a must start every single week for me, since I got Williams in the bench from the Cowboys. Ooh. And the Cowboys are playing, Vegas? I would say start both. If you can start CMC and Williams, that's what I would do. Both are must starts. But CMC, you always start him. You cannot bench him. Let me see. Other running backs that I'm targeting this week, Devin Singletary, of course. Each week he gets better and better and better. Blake Corum is a good stash. Algier just keeps stealing touchdowns from Bijan Robinson. So Bijan Robinson gets in there. Algier knocks it in. Brian Robinson Jr., grab him, stash him, just in case CMC ever gets hurt. It says, did you see Devonta Smith head top 33 on Packers? Yeah, Devonta Smith, man, he balled out yesterday. He was a big reason why the Eagles were able to win that game. So shout out to him. Although I hate the Eagles, shout out to him. He says, yes, I got Josh Jacobs. I mean, you got backs. you got a lot of backs. And he says, I need help. You got the players. You got the best of the best. You have 3 or 4 top running backs. You can literally start any of those 3 and most likely come out on top in your league. All right, wide receivers real quick. You got guys like Michael Pittman, Alec Pierce, Josh Downs, Olave on bye week this week. You got guys like Travis Hunter having end of the year surgery, and Mike Evans is still out. Guys like Ayuk, a lot of these frustrating receivers are still out. Terry McLaurin, these guys that are out week to week and not being on the IR. Guys like Godwin, right? So what you do is you play the waiver wire tough. I was telling some guys, if Christian Watson is out there in the league, Darius Slayton should be the number 1 picked up wide receiver this week. He was killing it before he got hurt, so before the Jackson Dart got hurt. My favorite team is the Washington Commanders, man, sadly, but that's my squad, man. Parker Washington, a good pickup. He's the number 1 wide receiver right now in Jacksonville until Jacoby Myers gets up to speed. Jerry Jeudy is now back and alive and well. And also, if there's ever a QB switch from Gabriel to Shador, it could happen soon. And with Shador, you can expect an uptick for a guy like Jerry Jeudy. Jaden Higgins has looked nice in recent weeks. Malik Washington playing against the Washington Commanders. Uh, there's potential there. It says for my flex position, I got Nico. So what's your question? You're asking who to put in your flex? I would go Puka. Out of everybody that you've shown me, obviously CMC is going to start, right? But if I had to choose between Puka and Josh Jacobs, it's Puka. Puka and Javonte Williams is Puka. So, yeah, Puka for sure. It says flex Emeka, Puka, or Waddle. Man, that's tough because Waddle is going against a trash defense. Give me Waddle. This is the first time and the first time only you'll ever hear me pick Waddle over Emeka. Give me Waddle. The Commanders' defense is that bad. This Treylon Burks is going to be good flex by playoffs. Man, I don't know, man. Treylon Burks got hurt again, so I don't know. But at the end, by the time the year ends, it's going to be guys like Chosen Anderson, Treylon Burks. They're going to be the guys getting burned. So I feel you. Since I'm very sad because Tyreek got hurt, he might retire. Yeah, Tyreek, I think it's about time. Yeah. It's about time for Tyreek to retire, man. I don't think he has anything else left. Like he doesn't even have the passion to play football anymore. Just rate my 12-man team, 3 wide receiver league, Baker, Nico, Waddle, Jennings, CMC, Barkley, McBride. I would give that one a 9 out of 10. Very solid team. Thunder or Warriors tonight. I think the Thunder pulled it off, but obviously it'll be great if the Warriors win. But Thunder. I'll say Thunder tonight, Lakers beat Thunder tomorrow. Knicks or JJ this week. Give me Knicks this week. I says, thank you, Manny. I appreciate your help. I will share your channel to my football buddies. Man, appreciate you, Kevin, man. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the love. Right. Let's see who else. So let's go tight ends real quick. I got 5 minutes before I get off the stream. Tyler Warren and Juwan Jennings being on bye week. Those are 2 big time tight ends. Go for guys like Dalton Schultz. Go for Dalton Schultz. If Juwan Johnson happens to be in your league, pick him up, stash him, even though he's on a bye week. Colson Loveland has kind of picked it up recently. David Njoku is solid. Luke Musgrave, if you're desperate for a tight end, he hasn't really panned out how we would hope with Kraft being out. Pat Freiermuth is kind of up and down, but he's definitely a streamable tight end. Brenton Strange, he should be coming back from the IR soon, so you want to go ahead and stash him. Tyler Higbee if you're desperate. Dawson Knox if you're desperate, because Dalton Kincaid has a hamstring injury and he could be out week 11. So if you're playing in multiple tight end leagues, look out for a guy like Dawson Knox. It says Henry for T. I think it's fair. It's really even. T is inconsistent. Henry has not been as consistent all year, so it's just all about preference. Defenses that I would roster this week: Chiefs versus Denver, Cowboys versus Vegas, obviously Dolphins versus the Commanders. Carolina has been bad. Look out for whoever the Titans play. That's always a good defensive stream. Yo, Tyler, what's good? What's good? Appreciate you hopping on the stream, man. I got 2 more minutes. So if y'all got any questions before I leave, y'all ask away. Y'all know what to do. How you doing, though, Tyler? Appreciate you hopping on. Yeah, so be sure to follow me on TikTok, y'all, Twitter, IG. It's TS with Manny. That's what it is. I gotta edit this. Because the Venmo is connected to the thing, so that's not it. All right. Save. Yeah. So TikTok, Twitter, IG, TS with Manny. And then Venmo if you guys want to support. And then might be back on tonight to talk some NBA basketball, but definitely enjoyed chatting it up with you guys. This is another episode of Talking Sports with Manny podcast. Also, I'm on all podcast platforms. So if you guys want to get some audio that you guys can listen to while you guys drive to work, you guys can check me out there. Catch you guys on the next episode. I'm out. Peace.